where Q1's just starting now. You can see the drivers arriving onto the track as I speak. Today, neither commentators, well, none of the three commentators decided to turn up. So you've got me and Frosty, the streamers. So, yes, so if there is some bad commentary today, you can blame, I'll do some name dropping, Hamman, Alvin, or Strawman. So, make sure to blame them, not us. But now, we're currently riding on board with Lightning in the Mercedes. You can see him just going around the corners there. Don't mind me opening up the menu as I forgot to turn sound on before the race. Now I need to turn down my headphones and turn up the sound of Frosty. But Lightning goes straight on, looks up, and there you see him there, just sitting off the track. Not what he would have wanted, but you see he gets straight back on the track. And he gets in the mood to set some lap times. But the Red Bull there of IX McLaren just cannot help himself from spinning over and over up that castle section. Once again, not what he wanted. So currently you've got loads of drivers arriving a bit late, such as Geometry is one of the bigger names, who's just exiting from the pits. Pocanaldo, who I didn't even know still here, who's also spun, same as the Red Bull we've seen earlier. You can see this guy just... he's got no control of a car. I'm not sure what his team's going to think of that. But you've got Jerry P... I don't know how to pronounce any of these drivers' names, which is always lovely. And for anybody just joining, neither commentators here, so that's always lovely. So it's the streamers commentating. Oh, Moto's just said in chat that he won't be attending today, so we won't be able to see him. But of course, it won't be the best for his team in the championship, losing out on those precious, precious points. But we're currently riding with the Ferrari of Speed 4 Ragers, as he's attempting to stop the time set by some of the other drivers. And currently, Jepico's just going up the castle section, masterfully getting through there to get the most out of his performance. And yeah, let's look at Pocanaldo. Didn't expect him to be here, but oh, into the wall and losing a wheel. And my replay buffer is not on this scene. And I can't change the profile while streaming. That is always lovely. So I believe, yep, no replays for this race, sadly. But you can see Lightning, just due to an error. Basically, neither commentators turned up, so it's me and Frosty here having to commentate this, which are both streamers. So you've got us, Hui. And I didn't have time to fully set up due to that. But you can see more and more drivers arriving at the race. So, yeah. I'll let Frosty take over for a minute as we ride on board with Geometry, who can wrap up the championship either today or in the next race. Oh, is that Hamman here? Hamman, is that you here? And I'm pretty sure I fully turned off my headset. Great. Okay, my sound's back, so you've got audio. I hope. I'm really hating this today. Okay, yes, we've got audio. Hamman, you're here, right? Yeah. Okay, 1 second. Your volume isn't quite up to what it's supposed to be, so let me just up your volume. If you could talk now for me, please. Currently, we're in Baku, race 9.
Going in, it's looking like Geometry has quite a lot of leverage in the championship, but he needs to get a good qualifying time before he can properly set anything in stone. But remember, this is Q1, so this isn't exactly where everything is decided, as right now, it's actually Jerry Pecco that is leading the qualifying race. But considering that everyone's coming in to set another fast time, who knows how long that's going to last. well, Blup just finished one, and Blup actually had one that's quite consistent. But as I said before, remember that this is just the first round, and wait, no. But remember that this is just the first round, and all the drivers need to have is a consistent time to finish it off with, which in a track as infamous as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, it's a little bit easier said than done. Oh, and right as I say that, Geometry comes in and sets the fastest lap by a country mile. He is not pulling any punches. He wants to get into the next qualifying session because he knows what's at stake. And at the same time, wait, is Beastover here? I don't see him in the Hold on, is Beastover not here? Or is he just using a different username? That's weird. I'm just gonna assume that Macaron is Beastover, if that's fine, or if Macaron is a different person. Oh, whatever. Wait, are they? Hold on. Let me look at the standings. Oh wait, no. Is Beastover?
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Jerry Pico there just going straight on at the end of the straight. Currently, the only person on track in the top four is Big Linda, which we're right on board with now.
Yeah, and on top of that, while you were talking, there's another fastest lap for the Q1 set by what are they using him again? Lightning. Yeah, Lightning. They had a pretty good lap time, just barely outspeeding Geometry and also Speed Rages as well. But again, he doesn't necessarily need to go that quick for this, and this only really pretty much confirms him to be in a good spot for Q2. But yeah, I'm confused. Are these like substitute drivers, or is Beastover just not shown up? Huh.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, none of us are really sure. If you ask back in chat, the race director should be able to get back to us. Okay, I guess Handman's died or something. But currently currently Geometry's in P3 just with a slide through there. He's continuing on round the corner there, getting up through the final sector, speeding on, getting quicker down the main straight. He goes through the final few corners there, down the straight past the pit entrance, engaging the DRS. Let's see if he can beat his previous lap time.
It's gonna come down to the wire, and nope, not quite.
Oh, that's the Haas of S10's crashed. The end of a straight.
His somehow, I don't know if you've noticed this, but his wheel has buried into the cockpit. How did that happen? I'm also just confused over anything.
Let's have a look at the gaps in between all the different drivers. Currently, all the top 6 are in 21. In the 21s. So the only thing differencing all of these drivers are 0.3 of a second.
Considering that Azerbaijan does actually tend to help drivers that aren't in that fast of a car, this could actually be the Haas's time to shine, the Mercedes time to shine, or dare I say it, the Aston Martin's time to shine? I say, a system failure books it into a wall. But yeah, now there's also the Haas of Gons and Rez, who's about to try and finish a lap for Williams. Can he get himself into the next qualifying sessions, or is he and the other Williams as a new Roma gonna be stuck at the back? He's coming in to finish the time. How good's it gonna be? It isn't quite an improvement. It's not an improvement. So him being in Q2 is gonna be in serious question. But now, here also comes his teammate, New Roma. He didn't have the best first segment, but he had a pretty good second segment. Is this gonna be him higher on the leaderboards in the dying laps of the qualifying? We'll just have to wait and see. New Roma's going down the straight. Is it gonna be a fast lap time for him? It is, but it doesn't improve him by any positions, which is a bit of a shame. And now the qualifying session has been closed, so only people who are currently setting a fast lap will be able to do one. And all eyes right now are on Blupsy, as Blupsy hasn't quite had the best luck after his race win before. But looking at his splits for this lap, they're all yellow, so I don't think he's going to be able to improve on them when there's just a straight left. So now, the last two that haven't set a time yet are the two Williams of On's address and New Roma. New Roma's about to wait no. Gonzalo Dress is about to finish another lap of his. He got a faster first segment, didn't get a faster second segment. Is it gonna be enough to push him up for the times? Are we gonna have the Williams getting into Q2? We'll just have to wait and see. Drum roll, please. He's on the straight. Where's he gonna land? He brings it into 7th. I think that's enough to get him into Q2. Pretty good showcase from Gonzalez there. But now, here also comes New Roma. New Roma has had it green for all of the other splits, but he's consistently been 4 seconds behind the other drivers. However, this lap is looking like an absolute belter. Where's this going to put him in the standings? It's honestly a bit of a question. I think it might put him in 7th at the sacrifice of Gonzalez, or not at the sacrifice, I don't know. Here he comes. Where's he going to get? He gets just faster than Gonzalez. That might be both Williams in the Q2 at the last possible moment. They were cutting it with threads there. So yeah, again, another disappointing showcase from the Aston Martins as almost all of them are knocked out at the beginning, but the Williams also clutched themselves a qualifying position. What an impressive showcase on the two drivers. But the real question is, can they make it to the shootout?
We've got another commentator just joining us, Sushi F1. Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
currently, we've just got a poll in the chat if you're currently watching the stream. Everybody's currently thinking geometry, or it will be geometry, not light. Nobody thinks light or another driver who will win currently. So we've currently got 6 votes on that. What are your guys' opinions?
I'm not entirely sure. It's been looking fairly all over the place for all of the drivers here. I mean, geometry is looking like he's got pretty good pace, but when is that not the case, honestly? Anyway, we're getting into Q2. Let's not waste any more time. It's always a little bit difficult to tell who's going to be the fastest just from looking at the starts alone. We'll have to give that time as hell. Some of them may even be backing themselves up to do the fast qualifying strat, which is what I like to do, where you go behind the line and then drive towards it at full speed so that you don't have to do a full lap. Because yeah, I ain't doing all that.
As I think both commentators were dead there.
No,
that's behind us there. That's one of the Alfa Romeos
wait.
making it into the wall of Jerry Pico. From in pole position, well, provisional pole last session, to being down here, it's not what he would have wanted. Back over to you guys.
Alright, so again, the reason I say it's somewhat difficult to tell how fast people are going to be on that outlap is right now, Big Linda is only a little bit behind Geometry, and again, we can't necessarily. Oh wait, there's a tap from Geometry. He's gonna have to redo an entirely separate lap if he wants to be able to make it into Q3. Granted, Geometry does have plenty of time, considering what he's got on his considering how many more laps there are. So again, we'll just have to wait and see how this holds up. Okay, pulling back to it, both of the Williams of both Gonzala and wait, it was Gonzalez, right? wait, no, it's Gonza. It's Gonza. I'm just gonna call him Gonza. So the two Williams of Gonza and New Roma are actually neck and neck. It's uncertain as to which one is going to come out with the faster qualifying time. However, on top of all of that, S6 is also on S10 is also on a killer lap. A 26.6 for the first segment, and he's seemingly keeping it clean for everything else, despite a little bit of a tap from the barrier right there. How fast is this time going to be, and what are the other drivers going to have to compete with? Well,
wow. Is that Big Liam taking pole?
Yeah,
Linda.
but S10 probably has something to say about it, as he gets almost a 119.
Wow.
Very impressive.
S10 with a flying lap.
Yeah, and Geometry has a lot of ground to make up, considering that now it's, if nobody improves, which they probably will do, it's looking like a 1-2 for the Haas. Now it's the front runners that are starting to make mistakes, as Lightning makes a tap.
And Buildup has just moved up from P5 to P3.
Okay, looking at that, wait. Red Jelly seems to also be coming in to finish their lap time as well. It's all greens on their splits, so who knows where they're gonna place, considering that they're done with that out lap. Are they gonna be able to make it to the next split? Drumroll, please. And it's a good time, but I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna hold up to get them to the shootout. As currently, as it's looking, both the Haas's of both S10 and... Wait, what? Wait, in the meantime, both Blupsy and New Roma both set a really fast lap time, with currently only a Haas and a Williams having a time faster than a 121. If this time is going to end up reflecting on the overall standings, or no, if this time is going to reflect on the shootout, then the grid is going to look very interesting when everything goes underway. And also, I'm still trying to figure out if Beastiver is going to show up or not, because it seems really odd that they just sort of disappear in a race where the championship is going to be decided. And also, Linda having... Oh, wait, Linda hit the one track limit. That's pretty sad. But still, Geometry is starting to run out of time. He needs to set a good lap, but he taps the wall again. Could we see Geometry not making it to the shootout? This is looking more and more like a Ferrari blowout the more time goes. But also, here comes Speed Rages. He got a fastest third segment, a decent second sector. But where is this going to put him on the standings? He takes it to third, not beating the Williams, not beating the Haas, but that's still probably going to be good enough to make it to the shootout. And also, as I was expecting before, what's his time? Wait, as I was expecting before, Blubsy's time is starting to slip downwards. He might need to set just one more better time if he wants to... Oh, wait, and someone snuck in a second as the wait, no. What's that full name? It's annoying when you can't see the full name. And immediately, Speed loses his third place, as now Red Jelly slips into second with just a slightly faster time, just barely missing out on the pole. And New Roma taps the curb, and now he has to do another outlap if he wants to get out one more attempt, which is a bit of a sad thing to see. And in the middle of that, Geometry, almost halfway into the session, finally gets a lap good enough to put him into the shootout. I mean, it was about time, but he was just making callous mistake after callous mistake. If this is the kind of pace we're going to see from him today, he might not even secure the championship in this race, considering Beastiver is nowhere to be found. And all the while, the Haas of S10 is still leading the qualifying session. This is looking more and more surprising by the second. If S10 keeps this pace, they could be a Grand Prix winner. Oh, honestly, I'm kind of shocked. But oh, in the meantime, Red Jelly comes around and sets their time, just barely one-upping Blopsy, Speed, and Geometry. As now Geometry is starting to question, do I need a slightly faster time, or am I safe? Considering that now the pressure is mounting onto New Roma, Jerry Pecco, and Gonzalez. And looking at the splits, they're all in the yellow, so they need one more lap to see if they can do it. Meanwhile, S10 is still trying to beat what he had before. He got a faster first sector he got a yellow second sector, but is having that best first sector going to be able to balance out to him getting a sub 120? Honestly, I'm going to be amazed if he does. Oh, he gets it! S1 beats his fastest lap time by over half a second, proving that wasn't a fluke. He is on the best pace of his life today, and he is going to give Haas a 1-up in this Constructors battle. Honestly, an amazing showcase from him. But now, there's still just enough time for everyone else to try and set a better lap. With Blupsy still trying to get at another decent time, but also Gonzon also set at another pretty good lap time, which puts him in third. So now the front row, surprisingly enough, is looking like Haas, Mercedes, Williams. You don't see that every day. But again, this is Q2. They do need to replicate this one more time if they want to actually get some good grid positions. And also, Geometry now, more than ever, has to set a good lap time. He's only got 2 more attempts. He taps the curb going into that corner, which might be a bit of a death sentence for him. Oh, but he gets a faster sector in the second part. And taps the wall a little bit. I'm not sure if this is going to push him up the rankings, but this might be the time he was looking for. We're just gonna have to wait and see. He's gonna cross over the line. Is he going to make it to the shootout? Everyone, hold your breaths. Oh, and Geometry cuts it in a second, nearly making it ahead of S10, but his incredible pace has still kept him in the positions, and also, New Roma now setting a time which makes him safe. And now it's Blupsy and everyone else underneath him that's under pressure. By the way, and a question for the other commentators: what position do you have to be to get into the shootout? Is it 5th or 6th? Because I'm pretty sure it's 5th.
P5 or either P6.
Yeah, same here. P5 or P6.
Okay, Blupsy might be safe, but it's sort of in the question. Gonzon comes in to finish a lap time, which isn't quite as fast as he'd like it, but he does still have 1 more attempt. And in the middle of all of that, Big Linda sets a green split, and no way, Big Linda's not that. The scoreboard just lied to me. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, but now Jerry Pecco has 1 more chance to get into the shootout. He's giving it his all to try and make it through. He has some very clean corners out at the beginning, as everyone else is seeming to get yellow segment after yellow segment. But again, he has to do this for a full lap, and he's under the pressure of this being his final attempt. Is he going to be able to make it into the shootout at the last possible moment? He's keeping it clean. He gets a really nice swerve over there. But now upcoming is the toughest corner of the track. Under pressure, this corner is a nightmare. Is he gonna get it? He gets a really clean approach, and Jerry Pecco is just getting green after green after green. Could he cut his way into the shootout? He needs to have something very clean if he wants to make it. And does he cut the curb? No, he doesn't cut the curb, but he does slide a little bit. And now, going into the final straight, green segment after green segment, and with only half a second between him and getting into the shootout, does Jerry Pecco have the pace to make it into the shootout at the last second? Is Blupsy going to be able to make it into the shootout after his race win before? Jerry Pecco makes it into 3rd! He gets into the podium positions of Q2 in the last possible moments! Really being a very disappointing result from Blupsy after his race win beforehand. So now, going into the shootout, we have a very interesting lineup here. We've got S1, who had an incredible lap time in the Haas, which nobody could really reach. Then we've got the championship leader of Geometry, Jerry Pecco, who was seriously proving himself, Red Jelly, and then both at the Williams of Gonzalez and wait, was it both of them? I don't know. I keep forgetting the vehicle numbers, but interestingly, the only Red Bull on the track doesn't make it into Q6. And again, I still don't know if Beastman is going to show up. I don't think he even is online, because at this point he probably would have joined if he was. So, wait, how many points do you get for winning? Like, how many points do you get for winning? I'm looking at the standings right now. I'm guessing it's 25, just like regular F1. Because if it isn't, and it's something lower, then that means that just from Beastman not showing up, Geometry is the world champion. But again, it is a little bit early to tell, and Geometry would have to absolutely beef it for Beastman to have a chance. So yeah. After all of that was said and done, now going into the final qualifying session, it's a bit of a mystery as to who's going to have the most pace. As the constructors that made it in are both of the Williams, and then a Merc, a Ferrari, an Alfa Romeo, and a Haas. This is quite the weird lineup, but I mean, you know what, I'll take it. We all need a little bit of variety. But yeah, even in the, actually, no, I'm not going to comment on the shootout lap. Does anyone else have anything to say about this real quick before their actual attempts begin?
Gucci, you have any ideas?
It looks like it's been a disappointing run for Ferrari today. Only one of the Ferraris have been into Q3. So I don't know, man. Today is gonna be like a crazy hectic qualifying for them.
So the thing you gotta understand is that in the Azerbaijan Grand, a good lap time is almost never where things end, considering how technical the track is. And now going into the first split, who's gonna have the fastest first sector going into it? It's a bit unclear, but Geometry taps the wall a little bit, but he still conserves quite a bit of his speed, so that isn't as disastrous as it probably would have been. After all, the shootouts aren't actually shortened in length in this specific league. But either way, everyone has now started their first fastest lap section. Geometry is actually being quite messy with his first lap. It's weirdly out of character for him, if we're being honest. And now, Jerry Paco looks like he's going to be the first person to set an actual qualifying attempt. He had a really good second sector and a lightning fast first one, but is that going to be able to translate into a good time? As it's looking like Geometry, even despite that really unclean lap, is still quite a bit quicker than him. Jerry Pecco is going across the line, and he ends it with a 117. Oh wait, yeah, we're all on soft.
And Geometry takes it.
Yeah, his lead only lasted for about a second as Geometry was sort of eyeing him down the whole time. And also, disaster for Gonzan as he's going to finish a lap, but he ended up hitting one of the track limits, so that's going to completely invalidate it. Honestly, we've seen how these drivers do, but we haven't quite seen how they do with the softs. That might be where Geometry's strengths lie. But still, S10, not to be disproven, is still trying to get a decently good lap. However, this is unfortunately an off lap, as he did end up having a collision quite early on, which ruined one of his lap times. He reset that very quickly, so it's quite clear that he doesn't want a single second to be wasted during his attempts. And flicking for everyone else, it's looking like all the other drivers have a yellow segment in the... So with the exception of Jerry Pecco still being at the top, it's looking like nobody's really got the pace to try and beat Geometry, but S10 hasn't submit a segment yet for this lap, so we'll just have to wait and see. He is playing it very clean too, just barely missing out on all of those specific limits. As now, Red also sets in a lap time, but it's not particularly very fast. S10 now with a green sector is looking to try and the rest of the lap as consistent as he can to see how many positions he can get for the shootout. And again, this part's pretty technical. Can S10 keep things clean? No, he taps the wall on a particularly good lap. That was very unfortunate from his perspective. As now a good sector goes from well, it's still green.
Oh my god, sorry to interrupt, but that was geometry there, flipping over the sausage cubs, ruining the lap he was on. Back over to you.
Maybe he forgot where the geometry was. But yeah, S10 coming over to set a lap time. He's in 4th, but I would imagine he's not too at P8 going into it. But now also, new Roma gonna set a lap time. He got a green 2nd sector, so where is this gonna put him? He doesn't particularly get any positions on the race itself, but he is still trying his best to get a better time. And also, Red Jelly submitting a much better time than what he had before with a faster sector 3. So, particularly impressive from him, as also New Roma taps the wall and pretty much gives up on that current lap time attempt. As now for Williams, there aren't that many attempts that they have left, and they're just sort of hoping that Gonzon has good pace as he taps the side of the most difficult corner. Honestly, a bit of a shame from him. It's looking like Jerry Pecco actually has quite a lot of pace, and I swear, the moment I start commentating on people, what is this? And I look at Gonzon, and he just starts phasing through the safety car? That's not the most practical thing I've seen. To improve it. Is he gonna get it? Not quite. It's an all-yellow lap for Gonzon, as now Geometry looking to try and keep his pole safe, considering he didn't have the cleanest fastest lap, and everyone else still has plenty of attempts, including at S10, who is assumedly going out for his next now. Actually, wait, where is he? Is he setting different tires or something? I'm not sure. The spectating camera isn't letting me spectate him. Oh, and if you look here, there's a bit of a standoff going on between Geometry and the safety car. It's like they're trying to discuss something. Is Beastamer gonna pop out from that car and say, "Hey, surprise! I'm gonna be leading this race no matter what"? Because that would be a pretty cool plot twist. But in the middle of it, there's still but in the middle of it, Gonzon is also setting a particularly good lap time. He tapped the wall a little bit again. How does it keep happening? But okay, so S10 is back on the track. He's gonna try. He tapped the wall again. What is going on? How do people tap the wall the second I start talking about them? Is this just a curse? Is this a curse of mine? Okay, New Roma avoiding the wall this time. Thank you. Is trying to set a lap time which can bring him just a little bit further up the board, because as of right now he made it in to the shootout, but that's really the best it's getting. As it's currently his teammate Gonza who is standing in the podiums for the qualifying, while he's just sort of alone. And everyone, including S10, who had really good pace initially, needs a good time going into the next couple of moments if they want to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Because always remember, Azerbaijan is a very weird and technical track. We've seen a lot of odd winners both in this league and in real life as well. So I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go.
Oh, come on.
And also now Jerry Pecco having a green first sector. Could he keep this clean and get pole position for Alfa Romeo after they get kicked down by the Red Bulls? As remember, there's only one Red Bull in the race. Alfa Romeo could. Oh! I should stop talking. But yeah. This could actually be a really big turnaround in the constructors' fight for Alfa Romeo, because if you remember last time, they had a terrible race despite their decent qualifying, and that almost put them out of contention for the constructors' championship. But also, I feel like everyone at this point is just sort of going to restart their lap. Aside from S10, who got a green first sector, is he going to be able to keep it clean going into the certain choke point? Oh, he does, but I feel like he could have put a little bit more speed into it there. But regardless, it's two green sectors for the person who is leading qualifying going into the shootout. Is he going to be able to get a particularly solid time going into the final straight? He does tap the wall a slight bit, but that's not going to hurt him too much on a full straight. Where is the Haas going to get in qualifying? He jumps up to third. I can imagine S10 would be very happy with that result. That's pretty much his last bottled after tapping a wall. And now, with only 10 seconds left in the qualifying, there's only a few people who can now submit a proper time, including Geometry, particularly going to improve his time. So if Gonza can get a better time from that, then maybe he can jump himself back into the podiums right after S10 took it. But it's looking particularly difficult considering he got a yellow sector at the start. Gonza would need an absolutely flying finish to be able to. Oh, and he taps the curb. I don't think that's gonna be him improving on his time. Although that is a green sector, so maybe this could be an improvement. Maybe the place where he really lost a lot of time was that second sector. Could he get the jump on the Haas to get back third, and maybe even second, despite tapping the curb like that? Drumroll please, everyone! And Gonza jumps into second after making a mistake with the curb! What was that? I'm honestly surprised. How could you make that big of a mistake and still get into second for the qualifying? I'm shocked. But regardless, it's looking like Ferrari on pole, Williams in second, and then Jerry Pecco in third, the Haas of S10 in fourth, Red Jelly in fifth after a particularly disappointing qualifying session for Mercedes. And then finally, New Roma, not particularly being able to set that good of a time, enters the race in the same place where he was in Q2. At least I think it was New Roma who was in 6th in Q2. I don't entirely remember. If someone could correct me on that, that'd be pretty neat. So yeah, I'll give you guys a little bit of time to breathe and maybe say something if you want. POV, they don't say anything. It's almost like there was never anyone else in the first place.
It's almost like you're all alone.
Huh?
It's almost
Right.
like this is a figment of your imagination.
Yeah, I can't have a commentary. I don't have. All right then. So, wait, hold on. Hang on a second.
I think a Red Bull has just hit the wall. On the formation lap.
I'm pretty sure that must have been Whoopsie. Wait, hold on. I'm getting a message in the general of the race administration Discord server. That being that Beastiver was still sending messages, and I asked him if he's gonna show up or if he has a different name, and he said, depends. Beastiver could be in this race, but he could just be using a different name. I'm not entirely sure. You guys say what you think about that, because I'm gonna real quick go to the toilet before this all begins.
Okay. Where are the cars? Okay, but for anybody just joining us, you've joined us on the formation lap, getting ready to line up on the grid so that we can start the race. And this is, Baku, the penultimate race of the season. So we've got however many laps it is, it's still nobody's told me. Okay, that's a lovely note from the race director about what's about what's going to go on during this race. And we can currently hear another commentator sniffing their microphone. Okay, over to you, Sushi.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, the cars are now lining up. Where's the Ferrari? As you see, Geometry is now is starting at pole position. You have the Williams in second place, starting P3. Alfa Romeo, P3. The Haas is inside P4, surprisingly. S10, he couldn't pull through in Q3.
So then, lining up on the podium is again Geometry, looking to secure the championship in this race with pretty much any good result. And then, in second, the surprise appearance of the Williams of Gonza, who had a really, really good closing lap. Then there's Jerry Pecco, who's particularly improved on his qualifying pace from the previous race. And then finally, closing out the front four, there's S10 after having really good pace in qualifying 2, and still being able to carry some of that into section. But now, enough of my talking. We're about to wait for the lights as the race is about to begin. Wait, it's not letting me shift cameras. All right. It's lights out and away we go. And Geometry does get a particularly good start, but so does everyone else. It's a bit difficult to tell.
And there's a red flag.
And there's a red flag. There were 2 full starts from 2 of the drivers, so everyone's gonna have to come back and try that again. That was odd. Wait, someone didn't come. The stupids are saying. Weird.
Oh, and it's the Williams who did not come.
Huh? Odd. Odd. Hold on, I'm getting some footage from the media team here. It's looking like also one of the Red Bulls actually destroyed themselves while trying. That was the thing you guys showed me before, but yeah, I'm Beast in there under a different name. I'm so sure.
Not sure. But I've been sent by these are recordings from the previous session, which have been sent to me by some of our just people recording. So let's go and have a look at what happened. Oh, losing his front wing through there. You can just see the contact, not what he would have wanted. And then we do have another clip from the same qualifying session. So, you can see, yeah, just goes straight on in the Red Bull and crashes, losing his front wing and wheels while he's at it. But let's focus on the race about to start.
Wait. We're having some word from one of the players. Red Jelly accidentally left. That's a bit of a weird thing. But hey, we have time. We can wait for him to pull up again.
So they pulled a full start because somebody left. That's crazy.
Huh. Weird. So now we've got to wait for the Mercedes of Red Jelly to make it back in. I don't know what happened. Maybe he accidentally pressed Alt F4. Maybe his game crashed. I'm not so sure. I don't have a clue. So yeah, we're gonna need a little bit of time to sort this out, but don't worry, we'll be back in not too much time. Oh god! One of our drivers are actually getting the loading bug. You know, the one where it doesn't load stuff. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not entirely sure if Red Jelly is gonna be able to show up for this race. It's honestly sort of in the question. But still, here's Red Jelly in the pits. Is he going to be able to make it to the qualifying grid? I'm not too sure. We'll have to give it a moment. I vanished into Red Jelly's car. What was that?
And he's been kidnapped. Okay. Just the shout out that we've currently got Felixan in chat. I've probably just pronounced his name wrong. Yes, I have. Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Back over to you.
Total, you made me look bad. Well, at least you can quite easily jump out of it. Yeah. But still, this may be taking. This might take a little bit to start, thanks to some Project Apex jank, or as I like to call it, PAJ. You know, it's an acronym that I just made up on the spot because I'm quote unquote funny, but not particularly funny. Yeah. You know what, I want to have a look at the construction equipment over here. It's bent. Hang on. Can I? Oh, I know how I'm gonna get up there. There we go. There we go. Oh, how am I gonna get up here? Maybe I can give myself just a little bit of elevation over here. I can't quite jump far enough. But still, I think that might be good enough to still give me like a little bit of a good look at the construction equipment and stuff. Oh, hey, I got up! Don't know how that happened, but what? I didn't know it wasn't real! What? That's quite the moment. Anyway, so spectate, yeah, spectate. I'm actually not currently able to snap my spectating onto anyone else, so I won't be able to unless someone like goes over to the first split so we can have a spectating camera on them. That'd be just dandy of them. But it's looking like the Mercedes of Red Jelly is actually pulling up. I think he was finally able to get past the loading bug, and it's the same case with one of the Aston Martins as well. But it's the question: are they actually going to be able to get a out this? It wasn't exactly clear who was going to be a race leader in that initial beginning. But hold on, there's a Red Bull at the very back of the track. I'm pretty sure they took a grid penalty. Oh look, now some harsh words and Toto, this is no time for jokes. But now, Red Jelly trying to park himself up to where he should before, and he's just. Is he just making jokes about oiling people up? Who did Mercedes hire? Wait a minute, can I take his... Hey fellas, how are you doing? Oh, they're pulling away! Wait, no, stand still. I could get a funny picture with this. Yeah, safety car, stand still. Okay. Howdy, fellas. Alright, there we go. Alright, this is gonna be the final attempt that the stewards are gonna make to actually start the race, because it's looking like that one Mercedes just doesn't want to park up, or he just keeps having loading errors again. If this keeps happening, we may not see Red Jelly on the grid at all. Wait, is he currently setting a time to try and get back? No, there's no times from him on the leaderboard. He hasn't set an outlap yet. Oh.
Wakey, the lights have just gone out. What a start. And nobody's gone.
Huh? Wait, what? What's happening?
Okay.
Huh? What? The Red Bulls have been asked to leave? What's happening?
They've got a reserve driver here as well, because I checked if Beast has joined.
Hmm? Wait, so Beastman wasn't hiding under a separate name? He was here this whole time? Hold on. Wait. Yeah, Beastman has joined after the qualifying sessions. What kind of pandemonium is this? Now one of the reserve Red Bull drivers have to leave. It's uncertain which one it's going to be, but... yeah, I can imagine the person who got a really good qualifying lap wouldn't want to give that up. But anyways, the race is starting after all of this pandemonium, and Beastiver now entering the track once again. We're going to have a few red lights, and then the race is going to properly begin.
Hopefully.
And after all of this, it's looking like Red Jelly isn't able to make it. So now the Mercedes are one driver down. Very unfortunate from them, or rather it's one of the other Mercedes. I think it's Red Jelly, because that's where his qualifying position was. So anyway, the lights are out, the race has begun. Everyone gets a particularly good start. There's nothing that's standing out too much. Geometry is making the most of his position, but he's almost immediately losing it to Gonza, and now the Haas as well. I swear that Williams and that Haas. I mean, quite the races lately. Can Gonza get a better line on geometry going in? Gonza trying to look for any opportunity he can to get either a DRS, a slipstream, or whatever, so he can cut ahead of geometry. Because this is Gonza's best opportunity to take a win he's ever had. But now the Hearts of S10 and the Alfa Romeo of Jerry Pecco are look. They can say something. Gonza has a bit of a slip up after having good ace for so long, and geometry is still leading. But what's this? S10 cuts into the lead, but he has a bit of a slip, so he's not able to hold too long. Geometry still leading. He taps the curb. He's almost gonna lose pace. S10 now trying to cut through. Gonza has better speed, but he did give it a pretty bad angle. Are they going to be able to steer it close enough to him for DRS to activate and cause a train for everyone? Is this going to be what happens? But now, Geometry losing his position to Gonza again, and S10 almost immediately going into the pits. Maybe they must have had an interesting strategy for this, but there's quite a couple of people almost immediately going into the pits, including Gonza, who was very briefly leading the race at some points. But now, at the front, it's looking like a battle between Geometry and Jerry Pecco. Both of them on the mediums, and it's looking like Geometry is getting the better braking zones and the better lines. Remember, this is Jerry Pecco's best chance to get a win that he has seen in a while, and I'm fairly certain he hasn't had one yet. I think an Alfa Romeo driver got one in Silverstone. Sure if it was Jerry Pecco. It might have been. Can someone correct me on that if I'm wrong?
Sorry to interrupt, but that's the SC deployed. The safety car is on track. Let's hope it goes better than last time.
That was actually some really good timing from the other two leaders, as now again, have the decision of if they want to pit now and lose track position, or keep their worn tires. This is a bit of a conundrum from the two front leading drivers. Are we going to see a split decision from any of them? This could decide the entire race super early on. As out of the people who did pit, oh, there's a crash from the runner. Oh my God! And there's a fatal crash from Gonza! He had such good pace going into this race! That's such a shame after Williams had such a good qualifying session! That's the last thing they wanted to see. They do still have New Roma though, but New Roma did have a bit of a bump going into the track itself. And it's a sight all too common, and Aston Martin is in the wall, this time as they're trying to go into the pits. But as the safety car is approaching, who's going to be in the lead after all of it? Well, Geometry decides that he doesn't quite want to pit. He's going to stay out on those older tires, but... Huh? Wait, Lightning, aren't you not the one that's in the lead? Is he? But yeah, there's a bit of a conundrum here, as I'm not entirely... For Geometry leading before this, I wasn't paying too much attention to that section. But now, the Hearts of S10, who did pit, and the Alfa Romeo of Jerry Pecco, looking like they're probably going to have the best pace after the safety car comes in, as they've essentially nullified all the time that they would have taken pitting and gone a 3 compound. But also behind them, the Red Bull of Beastava looking to try and win this championship battle ahead of Geometry. Because remember, this is the penultimate race. If Beastava doesn't get good points in this race, his championship battle is over, and Ferrari will be champions. But yeah, everyone's approaching the safety car now. The front row being on worn mediums, and now S10 and Beastava and New Roma all being on new softs. And what happened to one of the Aston Martins? Did Hyper just give up? Huh. So yeah, that's particularly weird. There's now only a couple people on the track itself, but okay, and the front runners are making it a wait, who went in? So now that there's a decision between Blupsy and Geometry and Lightning to all pit in while the safety car is out. They're thinking that they can probably get some positions back after, but now that means that Jerry Pecco is leading the Grand Prix. So whether that's going to reflect in the next upper laps is seriously in the question, because There's not too much of a gap between them, but both S10 and Jerry Pecco were showing some really, really good pace. And also, to make things worse for Geometry, Beastiver has brought himself into third after doing pretty good strategic thinking during the safety car and everything. Wait, what? Wait, what's happening here? Why is Geometry trying to cut through the pack?
There has been an update to the rules. When you get to the safety car, because the last time it wasn't working with separating people, you can go as far as you want forwards in the safety car. You don't have to keep position. You just bunch up behind the safety car.
Oh, okay then. So safety cars are essentially a position set?
I believe so. It's just like starting from wherever.
Okay, that brings quite a lot of question and pandemonium into the race itself. As now, Jerry Pecco is leading, but it's unclear how long are just slightly behind them, and they're just waiting to go full speed the moment the safety car goes in, as everyone is on softs right now. It's unclear as to who's going to be in the lead going into the next couple laps, considering how bunched up everyone is. Geometry is hoping that it's him, but Beastiver does have a slight position advantage and is looking to make that him. There's a green flag! Who gets up the line first? Beastiver reacts to it quite late, but he does have DRS. That might help him catch up, though everyone has DRS, so yeah. And also in the middle of it all, the Aston Martin of Hyper Mute King has caught up to the rest of the pack, though he is still 3 seconds behind as everyone else DRS train. He's going to need some good pace to make up for it. And in the midst of it all, New Roma is the done. But now it's a really close battle between Geometry, Speed Rages, Lightning, Velopsy, Beastiver, and S10. It's almost impossible to tell who's in the lead at this rate. The only thing that's for certain is that Geometry's leading, and New Roma is in second. And that's the kind of place where Geometry wants to be, but he does tap a wall and gives New Roma the position. He's taking it a little bit wide, he's playing it shaky. He can't be making these mistakes considering how close Beastiver is. And now New Roma has a chance to make it out of the DRS. Is he going to be able to do it though? He just has to take this next corner clean, and Williams is looking great. That's one of the cleanest corners that I've seen in a long time. But it doesn't look like he's going to make it out of the DRS. As now, Lightning is challenging New Roma for the position, along with all the other drivers. But Beastiver, pandemonium for Beastiver, as it's looking like he's not particularly close. He's still going to have DRS, but he still has a lot of ground to make up considering everyone else now has DRS. But now, with everyone else having DRS, New Roma needs some really good splits here if he wants that gap, and he's driving as clean as he possibly can with the Mercedes of Lightning and the Haas of S10. Whether he's going to be able to get that gap, we're just going to have to wait and see. Again, New Roma keeping things extremely clean. He's looking to try and shake off the DRS as much as possible, but considering that essentially with as many drivers as there are essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chances that the drivers behind have to overtake him. He has to outdrive 6 different drivers to be able to do it. And now, Lightning is looking...
Sorry to interrupt, but that's Geometry spinning on the top there. Is Geometry going to get back in the race with a car? Only a safety car can put him back in contention for the championship now. That's the championship being ripped away from him on lap 6. If he doesn't get a safety car or anything, he's really likely not going to be winning this, which means he won't get a championship. If there is a safety car, he's got the opportunity. So let's hope we don't see any Ferrari crashgate, but if we do, it will be exciting. Back over to you.
In the pit lane, there is absolute shock and horror within Ferrari's garage. They have been waiting for this moment for so long, and now they're potentially having it ripped away from them if Beastiver can keep things consistent. And the only good news for Ferrari, Speed Rages is up there to try and compete with Beastiver, but now there's a significant split with the top 3 is from New Roma. Both of the Williams are out after
that must be a safety car
for so long. Oh, and there's a flip from S10. What is happening? I don't know! 2 of the drivers that were looking like underdogs, potentially winning this whole thing, have now simultaneously crashed. The only good news for S10 is that he isn't completely out of the race, so he can still salvage some points. But oh, that's not particularly looking good for him. As now, advising everyone, the Grand Prix. As now S10 in 6 has a lot of ground to make up. And Speed Rages is also starting to lose position to Beastiver, and it's just looking like Ferrari's nightmare. It's just looking like Ferrari's worst nightmare the longer and longer this goes on. But Lightning has a big enough cut to not be affected by DRS, and now he just has to outdrive Beastiver. Granted, that is easier said than done, but still. And also at the back, even despite of S10's big mistake, Geometry is still 4 seconds behind. Because that really does showcase how quickly S10 was able to respond and flip his car back. Honestly, pretty impressive from him. As now, it's looking like Mercedes are in position to get their first ever win in the Apex World Championships. But of course, they aren't gonna have it handed to them for free. As now Blopsy and Speed Rages and Beastiver are all.
That's Blopsy out. That is Blopsy out. Losing it from the same place as Geometry. This time losing a wheel though. At this point, there must be a safety car. You've had a car flip. You've had Geometry crash. You've had a new roamer lose a wheel and the wing. And now Blopsy losing the wing. All in the top 6. That just must be a safety car. Over to you.
But it's not looking like the safety car in particular is budging. I don't know if they're waiting for anything particularly large, but I'm not entirely sure if both of the people leading the race completely flipping should... Wait, hold on! I thought Geometry crashed, but I couldn't see it. It's just that I couldn't select him in the spectating cameras thanks to some like buggy coding. It happens. But now, Speed Rages and Jerry Pecco are now essentially in a battle for the podium after everyone else who were potentially underdogs have crashed and flipped and stuff, and like Azerbaijan typically creates absolute chaos, and it has. Oh, there's a bit of a tap on the curb from Lightning, but there's also some from Beastiver. So Lightning is still pretty safe when it comes to his lead. Again, he just has to play consistent. Mercedes haven't had pretty much any luck for the whole season, so this could finally be where their big break comes in. Oh, and Beastiver flips! Beastiver flips his car as well! And Geometry from behind his own pit has the biggest of grins on his face, as now it's looking like Geometry back in the championship battle, as Beastiver now has to do as much damage prevention as he can. Now, it's looking like Lightning, who's just keeping it as consistent as he can, is looking more dominant than ever before. Oh my lord, this is... I've used the word pandemonium a couple times, but there's not really any better word to describe what's going on in this race. Oh my lord. But now, there's actually a tight battle between S10 and Geometry. Geometry is trying to salvage any points he can, but now considering he's only one position Beastiver, if he can do that, then he can give himself as much leverage as possible going into the final race of this champion. But still, like I said, this race is far from over. There may be one mistake for the entire script to be flipped. I had a feeling that Baku was going to knock tons of drivers out of the engine, and, well, I wasn't wrong.
And that's the safety car.
That's the safety car.
Okay,
Everyone...
sorry to interrupt, but I think I've got a replay. So, yeah, there we go. This is where Geometry crashed. You can see him just crashing and pulling off before spinning his car back round and getting back into the battle. Okay, Light should just be catching up to the safety car now, but Beast must not have liked what happened there. Okay, now let's ride on board with Lightning, just pulling up behind the safety car now.
And there's also a pitting from both Speed Rages and Jerry Pecco. They're putting on a new set of softs. Honestly, considering the safety car, that might just be the correct call here. Though Geometry doesn't take it. And also, this safety car has given the Haas of... Wait, did S10 crash?
I think he did, yeah.
So many of the drivers have crashed, and now the only two underdog drivers in this race are the Mercedes of Lightning and the Aston Martin of Hypermute. But considering that there is a safety car out now, anything could happen, considering how close everyone is. Geometry was initially not in the championship battle at all, but as one car dropped, and then another car dropped, and then another car dropped, everything is essentially being returned to zero. So now, almost halfway into this Grand Prix, it's still entirely unclear as to who's going to be able to win it. As honestly, the trick with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix isn't to go for pace, but rather to keep things clean. I honestly feel like with how many mistakes have been made, if I was in this race, I'd still be in the podium positions before the safety car came out, because my god, the amount of mistakes are just comical. It's just ridiculous. And remember, I drive in an unupgraded Haas. Like, not even with enhanced oil. I do that as a power move. But either way, now this also gives Hypermute King a chance to catch up to everyone else after assumedly some of the mistakes he's made. And now he's also going to be able to benefit off DRS, as now both Beastiver and Speed Rage.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but the only person who didn't pit there was Jelly. That's going to spell tragedy for him, especially... Oh, I can't talk anymore. Okay, especially as we know that now positions don't matter. You can just overtake anyone once you're back on track. You can see Light already catching up. Over to you.
Okay, so yeah, a bit of an odd choice for Lightning not to pit, especially considering this is his best chance to win that he has got in a long time. But now it's looking like the only free driver that have gone and pit and have the consistent pace to potentially win this now are Jerry Pecco, Speed Rages, Geometry, and Beastiver. Apologies, that was 4, but like I lost count. But now also, after so many safety cars have been called out, the Aston Martin of Hypermute King has now caught up to everyone else. If he can keep this clean, he can potentially get a long-awaited podium for the Aston Martin team. Oh yeah, that is. I thought when the steward call there was there, I thought it said there are no overtaking rules. So that initially threw me for a loop. But again, anything can happen considering that over isn't off the table when the safety car is in. So now everyone is just waiting for that one moment where they should be extremely fast. Hypermute King isn't leaving any time for that to potentially be the case. As I say that, he does a big break. When can I even make a point? Who's gonna let themselves off the gas first? It's looking like a complete standoff from all 6 of the drivers remaining. Who starts accelerating first? It's looking like it's Lightning who gets them speed off the line. Mute King also did it quite early, and now it's looking starting to pass everyone else. Remember, Mute King doesn't even necessarily need to win, but if he comes 6th, that's still a big help for Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship, considering how low they've been for so long. And currently in this moment, it's looking like Lightning pace, and now I'm gonna lose quite a bit of pace. Remember, this could be a moment that decides the entire championship, considering that both Geometry and Beastiver are on the track. There aren't that many cars here, so all they need to do is not crash and Speed Rages! Oh, and that lowers the cars in the race to just 5! These drivers are honestly dropping like flies, left to right to left to right. I would honestly say that Mute King has a chance if he just doesn't drive the car anymore and instead just essentially drives with the same pace as a safety car. There's a slip from Mute King, and there's also a slip from... Who was that? There's also another slip from another one of the drivers. Oh, it's Jerry Pecco! Jerry Pecco completely slips out. Lightning is still leading the race. Geometry is a little bit behind, and so is Beastiver, the 2 championship leaders. Now with only 4 cars that could potentially make it into the podium. are now in one of the most fierce battles I've ever seen, as Lightning is still actually making use of those ward softs despite not pitting it during the safety car. Honestly, Lightning is looking entirely unstoppable during this. I don't know what could stop him. And now the only 5 drivers who are still remaining are Lightning, Geometry, Beastiver, Mute King, and Jerry Pecco. And even then, Jerry Pecco completely flipped his car, so whether he's even going to be able to finish isn't the question. Geometry makes a bit of a cut there. It's obvious that he's trying to get desperate to get ahead of Lightning with those ward softs. But again, if any of the 2 championship leaders crash, that could spell doom for their entire championship. So I would say, just play it clean. Mute King is also trying to not hit anything as much as possible, because he's figured out, even if he doesn't have that good of a pace, all he needs is for one of the front drivers to crash out, and suddenly, he's got a podium. Though he does also have Jerry Pecco to worry about behind him, but even though he does have faster pace, so he is probably going to catch up before the race ends. But yeah, currently Lightning still has... Currently, Lightning and Beastiver also both setting the fastest first section of the laps, and as now, Beastiver actually has far more pace on Geometry. It's a little difficult to tell who's going to be able to actually make it. Does Beastiver get DRS? He does get DRS. Both of the drivers have now reached the DRS zone of Lightning. Are they going to be able to catch up to him? Geometry is starting to get desperate to reach it. He's not worrying about playing it safe anymore. He just wants to make it to the end. But again, considering how close the drivers are, they are all under pressure, and that could add to how much they have to focus and therefore shift it up. Lightning is making some slips. You can't just be doing that. Championship league. That's not how this works. And as now, Lightning, he needs to get this X corner clean if he wants to keep his lead. He gets it fairly clean, but so does Geometry. Both of them are basically driving like robots on a code. But now, I'm not entirely sure if Lightning is to this, because because even though he won't give up despite his tires, he might have to now though, because Geometry's... He's got DRS, he's got the less worn tires, and he is making an approach. But crucially, Beastiver is still just barely in the DRS zone, and Lightning still isn't giving up. He still wants to keep that lead he's got. And inadvertently gives Geometry doesn't have DRS, and neither does Lightning, but so does Beastiver. That could decide the entire race if there's not much to count. Honestly, with 9 laps to go, all it takes is one small mistake for the entire championship battle to be shifted. And looking at the... It's looking like all 3 of them have near identical pace, despite Lightning's worn-out soft. Maybe it's just the pressure of the track that's getting to the other drivers, though Lightning doesn't have the cleanest corner on the toughest corner in the track, which is probably the most crucial place to get at that sort of pace you need. He taps the curb, and that might just be the end of Lightning. Although he might be able to slow down and DRS does pass, as Geometry is going quite a bit faster than Lightning, but Geometry intentionally slows down DRS. Though he may have slowed down a little bit too much because he inadvertently DRS to Beastiver, so a bit of a double-edged sword, that strategy. But also at the same time, as all the front row drivers still catching up, Jerry Pecco is now catching up to Beastiver, as his slow and steady strategy may not have paid off. All the other drivers are keeping as consistent as possible. But now Lightning still leading the race after his soft should have given in by now. But still, he is taking the correct lines. This just seems to say, and Mute King goes to the side of the track. I don't know if it's his tires that are destroyed or if he's pulled up to the left or something. What's going on here? Is he giving up? I'm honestly not so sure. Someone might have to check him later, but that gives Jerry Pecco the leverage to get ahead of him and is in for 4th place. Though, wait, Mute King's come back. Maybe his game seriously lagged or something, but now Mute King is now an entire minute behind everyone else. But going back to the front runners, Beastiver has now caught up to Geometry. He's gonna have DRS just by default for the fact that Lightning's there, but so is Geometry. Who's gonna be able to get out of this section faster? It's honestly unclear. Beastiver has a far faster pace than Geometry. Beastiver is leading over Geometry. Again, the position's flipping over and over. Wait, hold on. I'm starting to think that maybe Mew King might have slowed them down so he can give DRS to the other drivers beforehand. Again, that's just a conspiracy. But why did I even say that? You know, forget I said that. Forget I said that. That's probably just something for later speculation or whatever. Geometry taps the curb a little bit. He can't be making those mistakes on the line. But he is still going in a little bit more, well, risky than Beastiver, and so far it is looking like it's starting to pay off, as Beastiver does have a bit of a shake going into the toughest corner. But again, amazingly enough, Lightning still not having given up, which is especially impressive considering that Mercedes haven't exactly had the best run in this championship or the best car to back it up. But again, Beastiver and Geometry are still looking for any potential overtake that they can get on Lightning. So going into the straight, everyone's going to have DRS here, but it's looking like Geometry is starting to lose a lot of pace on Beastiver. I don't even know if he's going to get DRS. I mean, he did, but now it's looking like Beastiver is chasing down Lightning. Now goes into the pits to try and get newer softs. A bit of an interesting choice from him, but we'll have to see how that plays out, as now he may even be under pressure by Jerry Pecco, as he's starting to go over the straight as well. But cutting back to the front, it's now a battle between and Beastiver. Lightning, again, has the more worn softs by a couple of laps, but that doesn't specifically indicate any. Lightning has a bit of a tap on the curb, but Beastiver takes it more aggressive and is therefore punished just a little bit more. I'm guessing Geometry is running over the thought process of, if they make a mistake, I want to have the softer tires. A bit of an interesting strategy, which in both of R1 and F1's history, even though R1's is significantly shorter. But still, Lightning is driving like an absolute champion. We haven't seen this pace from him at all in any of the other races. He is squaring off against Beastiver, the person who is looking to close up his gap on Geometry after completely flipping the results of the previous race. I mean, Geometry is still going to be leading the champion going into. Going to be by much. But now, Lightning finally making the decision hits after being on softs for so long. And now, the safety car window is closed, so there's no potential there could be any sort of safety car. Lightning also has an extremely pits. Either that, or he just completely missed the tires? I'm not entirely sure, but if it's the latter, that is very risky from Lightning, but I do actually respect going in with those worn tires. It might backfire on him though. As now, Beastiver is leading the race in first, with Lightning in second and Geometry in third, but I'm pretty sure Beastiver has to do just one more pit stop for everything to count. If he doesn't, then Lightning just handed over his win for nothing. But Beastiver, if he does have to pit one more time, I'm pretty sure he needs to have a pit stop of the gods to be able to make this up, considering he's not going to have any DRS. Neither is Lightning, neither is Geometry, and he's going to have to do this lap with the most worn tires. And it's not particularly looking the best for him, as he had an entire lap of yellow sectors, which you can't particularly have if there's only 5 laps to go. Is Beastiver gonna pit in this lap? No, he's going out for another lap. Either he's gonna pit in this lap, or he's not gonna pit at all. Honestly, an interesting choice from Beastiver. Maybe he pitted earlier, and that's why he's now? If that's the case, then Geometry is in a lot of trouble. But yeah, Beastiver still keeping it clean after all of behind him. He still slides himself into the correct position after accidentally tapping in the action. And throughout all of this, Hyper Mew King still hasn't crashed. This is Aston. Why do I speak? The second I say it, his wing taps the wall, How does this happen in such a large race? I am so confused. But yeah, if Mew King still wants to have good pace, he might just want to pit in for that, because now his results entirely rely on if any crashes. Lightning has a bit of a shaky corner when facing off against Geometry. It's uncertain if he's gonna have a tie with them unworn. And now Beastimer is actually seeing the first backmarker driver of Hyper Mew King. Is he gonna try and sneak off some DRS, or is he gonna pit in this lap? He's going out for another lap. Beastimer is trying to hold off that pit window as much as possible. Maybe he pitted earlier, and in that case, Geometry is in a lot of trouble. But Beastimer, now having tires that are very, very worn, is playing an extremely dangerous game here. If he can survive for these next couple laps, he might just have the entire championship checked out and completely fine. But again, there is still 4 laps where he has to keep good pace and not crash at all. And considering that he did flip in the middle of the race, that's not a guarantee. These drivers may just crack under the pressure, as Geometry the curb as well. I think Beastimer might have made a mistake, but his entry into that corner looked a little bit odd. We'll have to see when we're looking at the split time. Beastimer had a faster first sector, but the second sector is looking not the best, as he only gets a 32.6. But now it's Geometry actually makes quite a lot of mistakes, and now he's second behind Lightning. Lightning could actually make up this entire deficit if Beastimer doesn't pit it one more time, which would be crazy to see from the 80s. And Beastimer still making the decision to stay out on those softs. He needs good pace here. He needs to not make those mistakes he was making before. Otherwise, Lightning has the potential to completely undercut him. Honestly, I'm going to be amazed if Lightning is take this, but Lightning is able to see him under the straight 8 now. He's potentially within striking distance if Beastimer can't make up the same pace he was making before. And he gets another sloppy sector with only a 26 point. Is Lightning going to improve on that? No, just barely, by about 100. But again, Beastimer still has a few laps to try and do it. He actually takes the corner beautifully going into. And what does Lightning have to say about that? He takes it just as clean, if not even cleaner. But now, there's actually a crash from Jerry Pecker. As now, Hyper Mew King's strategy of just staying behind of everyone else is looking like it's starting to pay off. Bit of an interesting choice from Mew King, man. Yeah. But now Beastimer only has a 6-second leverage on Lightning as he makes another mistake. This is going to be an ultimate test of consistency to see if Beastimer can still hold up everything going into the last couple laps on extremely worn softs. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to be able to do it, but if he is, that's going to be a massive boost for him in the battle. And there's also Lightning looking to get not just his, but Mercedes' first win for the league after the most successful season. Honestly, in these last 2 laps, Beastimer is under an absolute tightrope walk of pressure, as now there's someone with less worn softs who's chasing him. I think Lightning could have probably won this if he didn't pit, but he is still having better pace over Beastimer. If he wins this with an extra pit stop, that would be something for the history books. But still, Beastimer not particularly cracking under the pressure. He isn't having the best pace, but considering that now he's 6 seconds ahead of Lightning with only 2 more laps to go, it's looking like he might not. But now, as I said, Lightning only 6 seconds behind, in striking distance of Beastimer, and Geometry is also just, and Hypermute is also just kind of there. I'm honestly amazed that there are only been 4 survivors at the end of this. But now, with a 5-second gap between Lightning and Beastimer, it's the final lap! Beastimer deciding to not pit in at the end at all. If he needs to pit in, he has to do it in the very last lap without getting any tires. I think that was the same thing the Lightning did, not replenishing his tires. Or maybe he did. I don't know. But But still, going into the last lap, Beastover needs to be as consistent as possible if he wants to push himself back into the championship positions. He taps the wall a little bit. That's not going to cost him everything, considering there's still one more lap to go. He takes things intentionally slow going in slalom, just trying to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Lightning also taps the curb quite a bit. Mew King crashes at the start, but again, that's not particularly too important, considering he's going to get 4th regardless. But now, Beastover only has one more section to go. One more moment where he could choke it all away. Is he going to keep it consistent? He takes an extremely clean line. Beastover's choice to pit in earlier on has paid off, as now, with a 6-second lead, oh no, a 5-second lead ahead of the absolute thunderstorm of this race, Lightning, and an entire 8-second lead ahead of his Beastover now wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix! That is going to be huge for him in the battle. Lightning now comes in second to get Mercedes' best result, and Geometry comes home in third. Not particularly the result he would have. And both of the drivers expend a GG. Because let's be real, GG. Does anyone else have anything to say about that? Because now, it's looking like this championship battle is in complete jeopardy. As if you remember, in the previous race, Geometry won by Beastover over one position, but now Beastover has won a race when Geometry has... How is that gonna reflect on the... As now, Hyper Beast only needs one more lap to secure the best place that Aston Martin has ever gotten. Honestly, you can see me pulling up, right? But how many points do you get for where you score? Because if this is looking like how it does in regular F1 or anything else, Beastover now has a really good chance to take in the final race. And we saw it in real F1 we saw it in real F1 no, wait, hold on. No, those examples don't particularly work, but yeah. Hello, chat. Hello.
Yeah, we've got our driver of the day, Hyper. So, it's just because of he survived. Like, he's got loads of points for Aston Martin. He just deserved it, in all honesty. Oh, back over to you.
Yeah. Let's be honest, these three drivers were the ones who were in an absolute war with each other. Beastover came out on top, and Hyper was honestly the only person out of just the regular people in here who were just sort of able to slip into all of it. And lastly, of course, Geometry still making it to the end. Even though Beastover does have more leverage on the champ, just the fact that Geometry made it to the end alone, that could still secure him the championship overall. So, could someone do the calculations for the points real quick? Because I'm not entirely sure how this is going to look. This could come down to the very last race.
Look who's just turned up. Our driver of the day.
Hello there, Little.
Hello.
He sure is here, and I'm pretty sure he's little. Like, there's a lot of little over here. Huh. But yeah, like I said, if someone else isn't going to do the math, can you at least tell me how many points first, second, and third gets you? Anyone? Anyone at all?
I think it's like the same as F1.
Okay, so the same as regular F1. Well,
Yeah.
Let me do. So how many points is that for third again?
15 or something. I don't know.
Okay, so looking at the. Okay, yeah. Let me do some calculations real quick. So that would be 91.
According to Geometry, sorry, he's 8 points off.
Okay, so now there is an 8-point gap between the drivers. The way it's looking now is if Beastover gets third, Geometry only needs to come second, and he's the world champion. But as it was shown in the 2018 real Formula 1 Grand Prix, no wait, hold on, that example doesn't quite work. I don't know, my head's spinning after this race. It's just been pure chaos after pure chaos after pure chaos. And honestly, I think I need a rest after all of this. We're going to be going in to the final race with only an 8-point gap between Beastimer and Geometry. And also, not to mention, Lightning also got a lot of points for both himself in the Drive Championship, jumping himself up to, I think, 5th now, and also in the Construction Championship, Mercedes now have a real good chance of jumping out at the last second, but they're going to need one more good result going into the last race. And on top of that, Aston Martin are now just points away from both Alpine and AlphaTauri. So now the championship battle for the back markers is looking like it's going to go down to that. Honestly, I wanted to see the Haas get a good position, but you settle with what you get. So now, with such a close championship battle, who's going to be the winner going into the final race? Find out not tomorrow. Find out next week in the final round of Season 1 for the Apex World Championships. And me?
Okay, stream's just ended. Stream's already ended. You just missed it.